So as you exhale, hold the head down, surrender again the pain to the heart. Release the hands to your thighs and listen to the resonance of silence. Breathing in, lift the head up and open the eyes. Stretch the legs forward and cross the legs the other way. So we just start with a few stretches, then cross left. As you breathe in, stretch the arms forward, interlocking the fingers. Palms away, spreading the skin of the palms from the center out to the sides. And as you inhale, stretch the arms up. Lengthening the sides of the body, squeezing your outer brows in towards one another. And breathe in, soft, smooth breaths. As you exhale, then you can release. And we are going to go to your side, taking your right hand down, left arm up and over, and just staying on the side. And pressing your left buttock down, lengthening from the outer left hip all the way through the tips of the fingers. Roll the bottom shoulder back and down, and turn the bottom ribs to look up at the ceiling. And breathe, soft, smooth breaths through the nose. Enjoying that stretch along the whole of the left side of the body. And inhale, come up. And as you exhale, go to your left side. So once the weight moves to the left, so can you press your right buttock down now? So you feel the stretch from the outer right hip all the way up. Bottom shoulder back and down, bottom ribs looking at the ceiling, and breathing. And then inhaling, coming back to center. As you inhale, lift. As you exhale, then turning to your right side, lifting and turning. So left hand can go to the inside of the left knee first. Lift and turn. Then take your hand to the outside of the other leg, still the same side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn more. And then inhaling, come back to center. Press the fingers down. Lengthen through the front body, and as you exhale, begin to turn to your left side. Right hand to the inside of the right knee first. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling, turning, lifting and turning. Take your hand to the outside of the other leg. Breathing in, making space in the spine. And breathing out, turning more to the side. Inhale, come back to center. And we are going to do the diagonal. So it's a twist first. So have your break by your right knee, or you might need a little more height if you are stiffer in the hips. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, you're going to turn so your navel is looking at your right knee. And then support yourself with your right fingers as you lengthen diagonally forward through your left arm. And taking the head down on your break if you can. And then pressing your left buttock down. It wants to lift. Can you bring it back down? That's when you feel that stretch along the left side of the waist. And be with the breath. So Anita, I can't see you. I don't know if you could set up your camera so I can see you, Matt. And then inhaling, coming back to center. And you can stretch the legs forward, crossing the other way. And then for the other side, taking a break by your left knee. Press the fingers down, lengthen through the front body. As you exhale, then turning to your left side, right hand against the inner right knee, left fingers behind. Inhaling, space. Yeah, make space. exhaling, turn to your left, lifting and turning. While the navel is looking at your left knee, press your left fingers down by the outside of the leg and then extend through your right arm, the direction of your thigh. And then if the head goes to some support, rest the head down and press your right buttock down. It wants to lift, can you bring it back down? And then inhale, come back to center. And we come forward, so whatever height that you need for your head. Yeah, press the fingers by the side again, making space in the front. As you inhale, stretch the arms forward and up, palms facing each other, lengthening the sides of the body up. And then from there, coming forward, halfway, lengthen through the tips of the fingers, press the buttocks down, and then take your hands down, pulling the fingers towards you to make space in the front. And then slide your hands forward more and take your head down to your kapasite. As you breathe out, just allow yourself to be heavy in your buttocks. And with the breath in, making space in the front body. And then as you inhale, coming back to center. And once more, stretch the legs forward. And crossing the other way. I forget which one that was. And one more time, coming forward. So as you inhale, stretch the arms forward, palms face down. As you inhale, stretch the arms up, lengthen up as much as you can, feeling the difference between the stretch now and before. So now it's more in the front. And then from there, come forward halfway, lengthen through the tips of the fingers, keep yourself heavy in your buttocks. And then take your fingers down, pulling towards you with the fingers to lengthen through the chest. And then from there, sliding the hands forward and the head down. And again, sustain there, softening the buttocks. With the head supported, allow the eyes to sink back. The front, the thinking brain to release towards with the back brain, breathing. Be with the breath, see how the back expands with the breath in. All right, and then as you inhale, come back to center. And stretch the legs forward. And having your two breaks, I'm going to do Adho Mukha Virasana first, so one to sit on, the other for your head. So with your knees together, feet by the sides of the hips, then sitting on your break, having the other one ready in front of you. Sit upright and be centered on your feet, so with all the toes pointing back. And feeling the sitting bones, yes? So the two triangle sit bones down, even on your break. And then from there, stretch the arms forward, interlocking the fingers the other way than before, if you remember. Palms away, as you inhale, stretch the arms up, lengthening the sides of the body as high as you can. And as you breathe out, then you can release. And we go forward. Yeah, so start to come forward, but trying to keep your sit bones down. Take your hands forward, so whichever way you move the break. And again, it helps if you kind of pull the fingers towards you to get more space in the chest. And then taking the head down. But keeping the sit bones up, they want to lift. Can you, with the breath out, can you let them drop back down to the floor? Be with the breath. So this is a very good pose for the lower back as well. You feel the broadness as the groins move back. There's a big internal rotation in the hips. There's broadness in your back. All right, and from there, you can come into Adho Mukha Svanasana, taking the toes down there, spreading the fingers apart well, lengthening back through the buttocks, and then from there, start to come up, lift the buttocks high, press the hands down, lengthen the sides of the body, pulling up the knees, pushing the thighs back. And just feel your way into it, feel how you are, allow yourself to kind of expand from the core out. Yes, so slowly trying to straighten the legs more and more, lifting the buttocks more and more as you press the hands down evenly. So there's somebody who's not actually muted. All right, and then from there, as you exhale, you can come back down. And so now you're going to lie down on your back. And first we do this. You're going to have the legs in a right angle on the wall. And as I press, you can have your feet slightly apart. Starting with your arms by the side, as you press your feet against the wall, it allows the low back to go down. Yeah, the ribs, the floaty ribs to go down. And it creates space in your lower back. Yeah, makes your abdomen flat. And then from there, maintaining that as you bring your arms up and take them overhead. So you see what that feels like when you put your arms over, but you're not overarching the back. Much more difficult to do this when we are standing, but let's try it like this first. Okay? Go for it. So press the feet against the wall. See that your legs are in a right angle. You can have your feet hip width apart. Yeah. Take your arms to the sides first. Palms down. And so just see what happens as you press your feet against the wall, how the ribs go down, how the lower back goes down flat to the floor. And it feels good on the lower back. Yeah. There's spaciousness in the abdomen. It becomes soft and happy. There's no tension in the diaphragm. And maintaining that, then stretch the arms up towards the ceiling, palms face towards the wall. And as you breathe out, take your arms overhead, extend through the tips of the fingers, dropping the upper arms, of course, into the shoulder joint as you bring your arms over, and then lengthening through the tips of the fingers, breathing. And if your arms are stiff, because now you don't have the compensation, you might find that it's difficult to take your hands to the floor without overarching the back. So that just tells you that the shoulders are a bit stiff. Yeah. Extend through the tips of the fingers, arms are straight, and keep pressing your feet against the wall. And just take for a moment, just get a feeling of what this is like. And then as you inhale, take your arms back up and back to your side. All right. And then roll to your side. And we are going to do Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. And yeah, so have a look. You don't need the wall now. You want to be slightly away from the wall. And it will be a good day to have some weight for your hands. So I'm using a bolster here. So can you see this bolster on my hands? And again, so I want to feel that same action, yeah, of the ribs going down, the lower ribs, so that the back is flat. And that way, if you have the bolster, have it. If you don't, you don't. But yes, so try to have some weight on your hands. And then you're going to bend your knees up, stretching the legs up to 90 degrees, gripping the hips towards each other, and with the breath out, taking the legs down slowly, in a controlled way. Yeah, and then bending your knees. So a few times, and those who are more experienced, you can then also, with the breath out, taking the legs up, but see that all the time the lower back stays on the floor, it doesn't go up. Yeah. And then also, lastly, you're going to try and make stops. And this is only for those who find this easy enough. So you're going to go down to 60 degrees. Yeah, pulling up from here. Then 40. And then 30. And the floor. A couple of times. So take this with caution. And anybody with experience, this is not a good idea to do. Don't do that. We are all good. All right, so first bend your knees. Stretch the legs up to the ceiling. Extend through the heels. Try to have your legs straight. Yeah. Yeah, so take the arms up and over. And if your bolster is there, and take your hands underneath, it will help you. And so really feel the lower back down, so that the ribs are down, lower back is on the floor flat. And gripping the hips, so there's a slight grip of the outer hips in towards one another. And then as you exhale with control, take your legs all the way down, extend through your heels. Yeah, so you don't bend your knees as you go. And if at some stage it's too hard, just bend your knees. Yeah, if you start to lift your low back, it's not a good way to do it. So just bending your knees. So with caution. Yeah, I'm not there to see you properly, so make sure that you use your common sense. Okay, and then again, so about 5 times in your own time. Yeah, so keeping the low back down as you take the legs, extending through the heels. Yeah, gripping the hips and keeping the lower back down. Yeah, Anita, you be careful. I don't really know you that well, so if it gets too hard, you just bend your knees. So you don't go over arching the back. Yeah? And then for those of you who can, you can take your legs up straight as well. But if that's too much, don't do it. Only do it if you are ready for it. Remember that you never do yoga with your ego. You just have to feel what the body can do. Yeah? What you are ready for. There's something else that has to take over, not the ego. And if anybody's ready then to make some stops, yeah, on your next one. At last moment, don't lose it, yeah? So make sure you keep the control all the way to the floor. Yeah, and so making stops if you can, yeah, so for 60 degree and pulling up from the pelvic floor. And then taking 2 or 3 breaths there, and then again to 45 degree, to 30 degree. As the legs go lower down, it becomes a bit more difficult, so just with caution. Yeah, so if you've done about 3 of those, Marian, you okay? You're doing good. Well done. So once you are done, you've had enough, you can just take your arms to your side, take a little rest. All right, well done. Now we've contracted all the core muscles, and now we are going to do something to loosen there, loosen the hips. So first the counter motions. Yes, you know this. So you start with your knees up, feet up, and then one goes forward, one goes back, and so moving this way, and then the other way, a few times, circular motions. And then we're going to bring the feet to the floor, and you're going to take the right foot against your left knee, and then it's that action of lengthening from the groin to the knee, trying to bring your knee down, but keeping it on the mat. So it's a bit tricky. Usually it wants to go out, but can you lengthen this way? And then rolling away from that side. Yeah, the same on the other side. You might do this a couple of times, and then lastly, you're going to have the foot against the knee again, lifting the foot up, and then holding the back of the knee or the top of the shin, bringing your knee up to the face and the face up towards the knee. Yeah. Okay, so those three things. Okay, so first, big circular motion. So you're holding your knees and starting by bringing one forward, one back, and then to the side. So they are making counter movements, yeah? And really softening the hips. So we often hold so much tension there. So how much can you soften in your hips? The other way as well. So bigger movements, you can do a bit faster, Tori. And bigger movements. I know it can get a little confusing. So see that you don't move your feet, lower leg, but you move your upper legs. So it's the upper leg bones that make those hips move. Yeah. All right, good. And then bring your feet to the floor. And now you're going to lift your right leg and bring your right foot against the left knee. Yeah. And then, so lengthening from the right groin towards the knee and trying to bring your knee down, but still trying to keep it on the mat. So it's not just going to the side, but going also away from you. And then from there, turning the abdomen away from the leg. So turning from right to left. Stretching your left arm out to the side to help you. All right, and then releasing that side. Let's do the other side. So left foot against the right knee, and then lengthening from the left groin towards the knee. As the knee goes towards the floor, if you can bring it all the way down, that's great. But trying to keep it as much as you can on the mat. And then rolling the abdomen from left to right. And stretch your right arm onto the side. And then you can release. Take your feet back down. One more time. Take your right foot against your left knee. You can bring it a little closer to your hip now, the foot, lower down to make it more challenging. And then again, lengthen from the right groin towards the knee. Not that one yet, Anita. So the first one more time. Yeah. Just having the foot up a little higher. Yeah, higher up the leg. And then again, so turning away from the top, from the leg, so from right to left, stretching the left arm out to the side. And then you can release. And last time the other side, so take your left foot against the right thigh and bring it up higher if you can. And then lengthen from the left groin towards the left knee. And then Yeah, bringing the knee to the floor as much as you can, trying to keep it on the mat. So it's not just going to the side, but it's going also away from you. And then the abdomen turns from left to right. All right, and you can release. Bring your feet to the floor. And the last one. So now again, lift your right foot, bring it against your left knee. Yeah, and now you catch hold of the top of the shin with both hands, your left shin. Lift your knee up towards your forehead and also lift your head up to meet the leg. Yeah, so you get the action in your hip, in the right hip. All right, and then you can release on that side. And then the other side. So take your left foot up against your right knee. Hug your right knee, or the back of the top of the shin, more like. And lift your knee up, take your head up to meet the knee. See what's happening in the hip. All right, and then you can release. Okay, good. Now roll to the side and look. All right, so we stand up. We're going to do one more thing on the floor. And it's your leg raises, but this way. So knees up to the sides first. Yeah, so you put your hands on them to bring a little weight on them. And then either taking hold of your big toe, or if that's too much, belt around your foot. Stretching the leg out to the side first, the other is still back, I hope you can see. And then from keeping the sacrum leveled on the floor. From there, as the leg goes up, the other straightens. So that is Supta Parangustasana. 1. And then from there, taking the knee out to the side, lifting the elbow, taking the arm overhead, giving yourself a little slap. Yeah, so make sure you watch this because it's hard for me to explain. Yeah, and then keeping the leg out as you take it out to the side. So you're already starting in that external rotation to go deeper into it. All right, let's do that. So have your belt ready. Bend your knees up, so you've got your knees wide, and you put your hands on your knees to put a little more, as you put pressure, so you open the hips a little more, using your hands, and feel the weight even on both sides of the sacrum. Okay. And then from there, you're going to put your belt on your right foot, or hold the big toe if you can. But I would say most of you probably need the belt. Hold it from the inside of your knee. Keep your left hand as it is on the knee, and as you exhale, straighten the right leg out to the side. But see that your sacrum is still leveled on both sides. You're not becoming heavy on the right side. All right, and then as you start to take your right leg up, at the same time, straighten the left leg towards the floor. Supta Parangustasana, 1. So right leg is up. Now, Marianne, up to the ceiling. Right leg up to the ceiling, and the left leg goes away from you. Left leg is straight down. Both thighs, so you can hold the belt with both hands, and both thighs move away from you. So allow the backs of the legs to open, to stretch, extend through both heels, feel the weight even on both buttocks. Take a few breaths there, stay. And now from there, you're going to bend your right leg out to the side. Keep holding the belt with your right hand. No, not that. So you bend the knee out, have a look. I'm doing it sitting, you're doing it lying down. So the knee goes out, elbow goes up. You can help yourself with your left hand to take your foot closer to you as you take your elbow overhead. And then as you push your head down on the elbow, it's about the hip, yeah? So there's more movement in the hip, more deeper opening. Same hand, same side, same hand, same leg is holding the belt, same hand as the leg. Yeah, and then can you take your elbow overhead, Liam? Elbow overhead. Yes, that's it. And then press your left hand on the thigh to keep it down. And can you, just for a moment, try to push the head down against your elbow? More action, more opening in that hip. It's a bit tricky to explain this one if you haven't done it with me in person. All right, and then you can release from there, but keep the leg as it is, release the head. And so you already had that rotation in the hip and just take the leg out to the side. Yeah, just take the leg out into Supta Parangusthasana 2. Keep your left hand on the left thigh to keep it down. Extend through the heels, breathe. All right, and then take the leg back up. Bend your knee. Release both legs. Change, actually, take your knees out. Come into the starting position. Let's do the other side. So knees out to the sides. Your hands on your knees to allow the knees to go a little wider. Feel the sacrum leveled on the floor. And then catch hold of the belt, so take your belt around your left foot from the inside of the left knee. And as near the foot as you can, so hold it as near the foot as you can. And as you exhale, then stretch the leg out to the side with your right knee still bent. Out to the side with your left leg. Sacrum is still leveled on the floor. And now as you take your left leg up towards the ceiling, straighten the right leg straight in front of you. So both legs are straight. And both thighs are moving away. Both thighs move away, extend through both heels. Both thighs away. And now again, so that kind of strange one, where you bend your knee out. Keep the leg in a right angle, so knee is making a right angle. Take your foot towards you, use your right hand to bring your foot closer. But the leg, so keep your foot up high, so the leg is in a right angle. And then lifting, so give yourself as much slack as you need to, but not too much of the belt, yeah? So if you take your hand, so eventually you're holding the victor with the hand, that's the pose. But for now, as you're holding the belt, you can give yourself more space. Now take your elbow overhead. And as you press the head down on the elbow, feel that, yeah, so feel more happening in your left hip. Knee out to the side. Don't strangle yourselves, I'm not there to save you. And then keeping this, so feeling that rotation, the extended rotation in your left hip, keep that as you straighten the leg out to the side. So straight out to the side with the leg. Don't bring it up, but keep it out. It's already out, so just straighten it. Yeah. Keep your right hand on the thigh to keep it down. And so can you still feel both sides of the sacrum leveled on the floor? So the leg is straight now, Marianne, straight leg. But out to this, not up, out. That's, yeah. It's a different movement. When you take the leg up first and then you take it out from being up, you don't go so deep as if you bend your knee out and then you just straighten it. So that's why we are doing it this way, to help you feel that. All right, and then you can take your leg back up, bend your knee, take your belt off, and roll to your side. And we are going to come to standing, and you can have a belt. I need to be somewhere so you can still see me. So we are going to have a belt on your elbows so that your arms are like so. Yeah. You will not see my arms, but we are going to lift the arms up. So first, so it's like what you did when you were lying down, but this time you're standing up. So back body is at the wall. Then I'm going to bend the knees as if I'm sitting on a chair. Pressing the feet down, bringing the lower back again to the wall. Then from there, stretching the arms forward and up to the ceiling. Yeah, trying to bring the hands to the wall. And then from there, straightening the legs up, but keeping the hands at the wall. And then trying to bring the feet closer to the wall without arching the back. I hope that makes sense. So it's a real good postural thing. Okay, so have the belt ready. And feet away from the wall. Roll the shoulders back, so upper body is touching the wall, lower back is at the wall. And as you breathe out, bend your knees, go down, sit. Yeah, and as you press your feet down, see that your floating ribs go back, so your lower back is at the wall. And then can you maintain that as you stretch the arms forward, pushing out against the belt. And as you inhale, stretch the arms up, extend through the tips of the fingers, palms face forward, but without overarching the back. So that's the whole idea. Yeah. And it's easier to do with the knees bent, but as you begin to straighten the legs, can you keep your hands at the wall? Can you keep your lower back still at the wall? It's not so easy to do. And then you can slowly begin to step your feet back, but keeping the upper body at the wall. If that makes sense. And that might be too much. So if that's too much, that's okay. Let's try this one more time. Take your arms back down. Stepping the feet away. And again, so bend your knees. Go down, so the legs are making a right angle as if you are sitting on a chair. Roll the shoulders back. And first establish that as you press the feet down, you get that lift from the bottom of the pelvic floor, and the lower back is at the wall. Yeah. Grip your hips in, and then stretch the arms forward, push out against the belt. As you inhale, stretch the arms up, extend up through the arms, palms are away from each other. And can you take your hands to the wall? And they might not go all the way, depending on the stiffness of your shoulders. But try as much as you can to bring them to the wall. And then begin to straighten the legs, but keep the upper body at the wall. Keep your hands at the wall. Yeah, and then maintaining that as you slowly take your feet closer and closer. You might feel that you completely lose it, so you don't have to go all the way to the wall, just to your capacity. Yeah. And then take your arms down and just standing away from the wall. See how that feels when you are standing. What has, can you feel the imprint of that so that you don't, yeah, so it's that action. So there is more broadness in your back around the lower portion of the back. All right. So now, moving on, you're going to get a chair. We are going to work on some of the standing poses a little differently. So we're going to do Trikonasana first. And the chair, so I put the back of the chair behind me, right? I'm gonna take, just watch first, you're going to take your feet by the car, and the side of the chair is in my midline. Yeah, see? And then, so you're gonna be going to the right side, I'm going to my left. Turning your feet to your right. So we're rotating the front thigh, and I'm gonna catch hold of the chair behind me with my left hand. So as I pull at the chair, it helps to bring the shoulder back. Then from there, sliding the other hand down along the chair as you go to the side. Just going as far as you can. But see, so from here, as I pull at the chair, it helps me to bring the shoulder back. So that's the objective. Then maintaining that as you stretch the arm up. Because very often that shoulder falls forward and then everything falls. The spine is not extending. All right? So let's try that. Take your feet wide, have the chair ready. Turn your feet to your right, so left toes in a little bit, right toes out, and the heel pin. Turning in the top thigh from inside out. Take your left hand around and behind. Catch hold of the top of the chair. And then begin to slide your right hand down. As you take your left shoulder back. See how that feels. And continue to slide the hand down along the leg of the chair. And all the time the top shoulder is back. So the chest is looking up and not down. Because when it's collapsing, then you don't get the energy from the pose. You kind of get drained. So this is how you get more energy from the pose. And just breathe. And then if you can, without taking the shoulder forward, can you stretch the arm up? Okay, and then as you inhale, come back up. Turn your feet forward. I hope this makes sense. Have the chair ready for the other side. Alright, so chair is ready behind you. Turn your feet to your left, so right toes in, left toes out, and the heel in. Turn the whole front leg in the hip socket. And taking your right hand around and catching hold of the chair. So already you feel that you are turning the trunk to your right side. And then begin to slide your left hand down. As you turn the right shoulder back. Right shoulder back as you keep going down slowly in your own capacity. But turning the chest up. So it's a good way to understand how the chest turns. And then staying there, both legs are straight. And now, so when you are ready, you can stretch the arm up towards the ceiling, but without collapsing the shoulder forward. So that's the work. See how that feels now. Okay, then as you inhale, come back up. Turn your feet forward. Take your feet together. And we are going to move on to warrior number 2. We're going to do it like this. Sitting on the chair. On the very front of the chair. So turn the chair around. Have a look first. You're going to have the right leg on the chair. So it's only the leg, the hip. So the pelvis is on the chair. Yeah? And so there the leg will be making a right angle, it has no choice. And you're right on the edge because we are going to be coming off the chair in a moment. Yeah. Now because you can't, there's no leverage for the hip to go out of line with the chair, you might find that the back foot doesn't want to go back so far as normal. Yeah. So you can start forward with the left foot, but then can you slightly move it back? So let's do this a bit, everybody. Yeah, so let's do it. Take your right leg on the chair, keep it in line with the front edge. And then depending how open the hips are, will want to go forward straight. You can stretch the arms out to the sides, looking over to your right side. And then, so can you take yourself off the chair? You're right on the edge. Just taking yourself forward slightly off the edge, maintaining that. So you're low in the hips. See how that feels. Stretch the arms from the center of the chest. All right, good. And then you can release the arms and come up. All right, so change for the other side. So taking your left thigh on the chair, the back of the thigh, and then from there, walking your right foot back. You can control the side of the chair to turn the trunk away from the left leg. Yeah. So it's like you just did in Trikonasana, you're good to kind of turn that way. Yeah, that's right. Shoulder, right shoulder back. And then see how the feet are. So your right foot needs to go back a little more. And then from there, stretch the arms out to the side, look over to your left side. And then can you just come off the chair a little bit to the front, but without lifting the hip up. Staying down low. As if you were still on the chair. Breathing soft, smooth breaths through the nose. Good, and as you inhale, you can come up, release the arms. So next is Uddita Parshva Konasana. A similar way. Hang on. So you see. Okay, so the same way, so you're right on the edge. So again, the back foot goes back bit by bit. Front leg is making a right angle. And then you take your hold of the back of the chair with your left hand so that the shoulder goes back. So it's the same like we did for Trikonasana. And then sliding the hand down in the front of the knee, catching hold of the chair. And first getting the turn. Yeah, real good turn in the chest. And then keeping that as you stretch the arm up and taking the arm overhead. If you can. If it's falling forward, then just keep it up. Or hold the chair would be even better. Okay, so let's do that. You're all doing it, I was showing you, but yeah, so, okay. So holding the back of the chair with your left hand. And begin to slide your right hand down along the front leg of the chair while you pulling at the back of the chair with your left hand to bring your left shoulder back as much as possible so that the chest is turning up. And then from there, Stretch the top arm up, rotate the upper arm, and take it overhead. Extend through the tips of the fingers. Breathe. And then, can you bring yourself forward of the chair? You're right on the edge, bring yourself off the chair and see if you can do it without that support. See how that feels. Is there something new you can learn from this? Alright, and then you can release, come back up. And preparing for the second side. Alright, so have the left leg on the seat of the chair, in line with the front edge. Stretch your right leg back, taking the foot back bit by bit. Take your right arm to the back of the chair, holding the bar at the back. And so already turning the waist away from the bent line. Right? And then keeping the right shoulder back, so as you slide your left hand down in front of the knee. So turning abdomen, turning the chest, top shoulder back. Stay there for a moment. And then stretch the arm up, rotate the upper arm, bring it overhead. And then can you come off the chair? Breathing. Well done. Then you can release the top arm and come back up. And after this, I want you to try. Leave the chair away for a moment. Give yourself a break. And you're going to go into Trikonasana and other Chandrasana. So in the break ready on the right side. You want me to show you? So I'll show you what this is first, just so everybody knows. So we've learned what it feels like now, taking the top shoulder back, which will make your other Chandrasana easier. So like with the chair, you want to bring the top shoulder back in Trikonasana. Then you're going to bend the front knee, taking your top hand to your hip, hopping forward, taking the brick forward, and then coming into, trying to balance into Adra Chandrasana, rolling the top shoulder back as you stretch the arm up. Yeah, so it's above this shoulder. Okay, let's try. So feet wide, rotating the front hip from inside out. Stretch the arms out to the sides from the center of the chest. Take your breath in, and as you breathe out, you go into Trikonasana, take your hand down to your break. And first take your top hand to your waist, or to your hip, and really turn the top shoulder back, like when you were pulling at the chair. Yeah, what did that feel like? And then you can stretch the arm up. And then again, you can take your hand to your hip, begin to bend the front knee, hopping the back foot forward. Take your front foot forward, or take your break forward about the foot. And bending so keep your left leg bent as you begin to take your right leg up the other way. Bending your, which one is it? Yeah, top leg straight. And the standing leg bent to start with, and then you try to straighten the standing leg. But again, so it's the top shoulder that has to go back to turn the spine. So it's the same work that we've done. All right, good. And then as you exhale, you can go back down. Okay. And then preparing for the exercise, make sure you've got enough space on the left side. Taking the feet wide. Right, so going to your left side, I'm going to the right side, and try not to get confused. Turning your feet to your left, right toes in, left toes out, and the heel in. Turning the whole of the left leg from inside out. Yeah. Stretch your arms out to the sides as you exhale. Go to Trikonasana. Take your hand down to your break. And take your top hand to your hip. And turn the shoulder back. So like you did with the chair. So that the abdomen, the chest is looking up and the shoulders going back. You can keep your hand on the hip this time. Bend the front knee, so your left knee. Hold the right foot forward. Take your break forward, about the foot, keep it in line with your little toe. Look at the floor to start. And begin to take your right leg up straight. And turning, so taking the top shoulder back as much as you can. Then straightening the standing leg as well. And once you get your balance, and stretching the top arm up towards the ceiling. Top shoulder back. The chest is lifting. Yeah, looking good. All right, and then step back further than you think into Trikonasana. I'm realizing that we are kind of running out of time. There was something else I was gonna do, but maybe we keep it for next time. Sorry, I'm just having this monologue with myself. Okie doke. Yeah, so I was gonna do some twisting poses, but we will keep that for next time. For now, just taking the feet wide apart, heels out, toes in. And then coming forward from the hips, taking the hands down, shoulders back, looking up with the chest. And if you need your breaks in front of you, then have them ready. Prasarita Paratanasana. Roll the shoulders back, lifting the chest. And so, in your own capacities, you can go down lower. Maybe the breaks go down lower. Maybe you go to the floor. And then maybe you take your hands in line with your feet, but your back is still straight. Elbows back and the head down. The head can be on some support, on some block. Break. Prasarita Paratanasana, it's your resting pose. All right, and then come back up. And you can step the feet back together. And so I think we finish with a twist. Lie down. Have a belt. So Jatra Parivartanasana. Alright, so you put your belt the height of the shoulders underneath your shoulders, pulling with your hands out to the side, bending your knees up to the chest, and then as your legs go to the right side, you want to keep your knees together and pulling more with your left hand at the belt to keep your left shoulder down. So not going all the way down like this, but keeping the legs together. And then the other side, so watch, so I'm pulling as I'm taking the legs to the left, pulling more with the right to keep the right shoulder down. We'll do that a few times. Okay? So pull at the belt, grip the hips, lift the knees up high, extend through the heels, not the toes, but the heels. And then imagine you only have one leg as you take both legs together to the side. Yeah, to the right side first. When you go to the right, you want to pull more with your left hand. Pull at the belt with your left hand as you go to the right. And then, so rotating the abdomen away from the legs, and then coming back to center. And then going to the other side, lift your knees up high towards the elbow. Yeah, to the left side, and rotating the trunk to your right. Keeping the right shoulder down as you pull at the belt. Breathe, stay. Then take your legs back up, lift your knees up higher, and one more time. As you exhale, take both legs to the right side. One more time. So Anita, bend your knees up more. You need to bend your knees up more to the chest. And your heels go to your buttocks. Your heels go to the buttocks. Yeah. So one more time. Knees up high to the elbow. Roll the belly away from the legs. And pull with your left hand. And then inhaling, coming back to center. Last time for the other side. As you exhale, go to your left side. Keep your knees together, extend your heels. And then inhaling, coming back to center, take your feet to the floor. And we are going to do Shavasana. And because we've kind of been focusing on things for low back, you could do Shavasana with your lower legs on the chair. I leave it up to you. Yeah, so if that feels good, we are going to do it like this. Or if you want to just lie down flat, you can do that. So it's up to you. So with the chair, you put a blanket. If you need something else for the head, then have that ready. You put your belt around your knees. So knees are hip width apart. Taking the lower legs on the chair. Knees are on the edge and then lying down. Chin in. Tucking the shoulders under. And that's your Shavasana. So by the belt, with the belt, it's really great for the lower back because you can really let go and relax. So remember, it's one to have in your box of tricks when there is strain on the lower back, which is very common. Don't have the belt too tight, so it should only be so that your knees are hip width above. All right. Tucking the shoulders under, take your arms to the sides with the palms facing up. Chin is down lower than the forehead so that the back of the neck is long, and just feel that you're on the very center of the back of the head. And then start to let go with the breath out. Surrender yourself to the gravity. Just letting go. There is nothing more to do, and there is nothing left under. Just surrender. Allow the face to be completely relaxed, widening the space between the eyebrows, soften the eyelids. Let the eyes drop down deep into the eye sockets, away from the eyelids. Imagine that you have eyes at the back of the head looking out through the darkness of the skull. Relax the jaws, the tongue, the throat. Feeling the contact between the back body and the floor, from head to feet and feet to head. Feeling all the touch points between the back body and the floor, and the whole plane of the body on the floor all at once. The back of the legs on the chair also. With the breath out, soften the abdomen. Let it fall down towards the back. As you exhale, soften the shoulders, the upper arms, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, the hands, and all the fingers. As you exhale, soften the groins, the hips, the thighs, the kneecaps, the shins, the ankles, the fronts of the feet, backs of the feet, and all the toes. Let the body be heavier and softer with each next breath out. Surrendering more and more to the gravity until you let go completely. Letting go, letting go. I'm gonna finish with a poem by Rumi about surrender. Short but powerful. Very little grows on jagged rock. Jagged rock. Be ground, be crumbled, so wildflowers will come up where you are. You have been stony for too many years. Try something different. Surrender. Try something different. Surrender. With that, I'm going to leave you. Hope you sleep well tonight. Have a wonderful week. And see you all next time. Thank you.